Okay, so did everybody do the reading this week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep, okay. Then let me pull up the questions. They just disappeared. Okay, so the first one, we need to imagine ourselves as the bankers at Super Saturday. So, did everyone like figure out which two like hiree people they liked, the candidates?
Yeah, let me get there on my.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I'm trying to do
Oh,
too.
you guys are good.
I liked the first one and the last one.
I think that's
Natalia and Andy,
Yeah.
right? Those are the two that I liked a lot too.
I liked Natalia and then Ken.
Yeah.
And you liked Ken?
Yeah.
Okay. So, um, so we liked Natalia. So did everyone agree that we liked her?
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did we like the best? Like, what made her stand out?
I think since she was one of the top candidates from Cornell, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she's such a good candidate and has such a strong knowledge of finance and basically what she's going into in banking, and so she's on her game, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a lot of experience. Like she can relate to any person from any nationality, kind of thing. Like she would be approachable.
Okay. They did talk about how the fact that she isn't very strong in English, that could be a negative part. Did anyone else think that, or no?
I think maybe a little bit, just kind of similar to that case that we read last week
Mm-hmm.
or 2 weeks ago about that guy as a teller or like a banker. But
Yeah.
I think because she knows her field so well, I think it can like compensate, and she can learn English as she goes, and I think she'd be fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Martin. So Stephen, you said that you liked him. What made him stand out that made you like him?
I said I liked Ken, but
Oh, Ken?
yeah,
Oh, that is right. You did say you liked Ken. Sorry.
okay.
So did anyone think that Martin would be a good candidate?
I think he has good qualities, but I probably wouldn't pick him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has good qualities running a team and whatnot, but
Yeah.
that won't cut it when you're trying to get financials together or trying to do the
Yeah.
job of a banker. You have to have
Yeah,
that background knowledge to perform.
Mhm.
yeah. I remember it said that he had no business experience or like leadership or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. So then we'll go on to Ken. So Stephen, you said you liked Ken.
Yeah,
What
I
made
do.
him stand out?
I like his experience, and he's sort of like an older soul, so to speak. He's used to being in charge, and so I think that would give him the quality management that would be required um, when Cohen hires these people.
Mhm.
And then I know that the judges didn't necessarily like him, but also they did talk about how he's like a father. That's Ken, right? Yeah, he is a
Yeah.
father of two, and how basically they expect their employees to work probably 60-hour work weeks, and how is he going to do that with two kids? I think they sort of shy away from that. But I think he's a good candidate.
Yeah, well, he knows what he's getting into, so I don't feel like because he has kids that shouldn't affect if he gets the job or not.
Yeah. I just got a text from Amy asking if anyone else got kicked out because of bad connections. And then I just saw her disappear.
Amy or Anna?
Anna, sorry.
Let me invite her again.
It does seem kind of fuzzy, like the
Yeah,
picture anyways.
it's a little delayed sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to just continue?
She'll be back, I'm sure.
Okay.
We can just continue.
Okay. Then we will keep going. Did anyone else say that they would think that Ken would be a good candidate? No? Okay.
I think you would. Just a lot of the same reasons.
Oh, you're back. Awesome.
Wait, so what happened? Was it just me?
Yeah, it's just
Love
you.
this.
Ah, sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. We just finished talking about Ken, and now we're going to talk about Andy.
Okay.
So, Anna, why did you think Andy would be a good candidate?
Yes and no,
Okay.
because I mean, like it was said here. Wait, we're talking about Andy or Ken? Sorry,
Andy.
Andy. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Actually, I do think he would be a good fit because he has a lot of knowledge and obviously he knows how to run a business and make money. And I mean, like I was just thinking about this with the lower GPA. So my brother-in-law, he's a doctor now, and but in high school and college, he was, I guess, too smart for homework sometimes. So he'd be like, this is dumb. So he would know the answers. He would participate in class, but he sometimes wouldn't do homework because he thought it was kind of dumb. And so he got a lower GPA. But now he's a doctor. He's really actually brilliant. And so, like, sometimes I feel like you shouldn't judge people off of their GPA, but on their success, success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Totally agree. Okay. Amy, did you have anything you wanted to add to that? Or Colton or Steven?
I
I
just like
did actually.
Oh, sorry. I liked how they said that Andy was enthusiastic and personable.
Yeah.
Kind of a good quality when you're looking for someone to hire, I think.
For sure.
I also like how they said that he ran his business for 3 years. The fact that he could get $2 million in revenue shows that he can get things
Yeah.
done.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm running a business right now, but we're not even close to that.
Oh, no.
So I think it's pretty impressive that he could make it successful that quickly, and that would show in banking. Shows that he can reach his goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really impressive, especially in 3 years' time.
Well, and the fact that he was going to school while he started it shows, like, he knows how to get stuff done.
And that could even be another contribution to his GPA as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's
Okay.
a good candidate, yeah.
And then, so did we just discuss all four? Or are we missing someone? Talked about Natalia, then Martin, Ken, and then Andy. Okay. So, then we'll talk about part 2. So why do you think there was so much disagreement between the senior brokers in their meeting on Saturday on who to hire? Is it because of the process that they use? Is it the type of interviews?
I think it was just because it's a long day and it's snowing outside and everyone wanted to leave and go home.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were all kind of dreading that to begin with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also, like, some of these, I mean, after the interviews, they said, like, yeah, he made a good impression on me, but on me, he made a good impression. Or everybody has different likes and dislikes about a person. You can click with someone else and like that particular trait about them when the next person doesn't like that trait. And so it's
Yeah.
just their personalities maybe didn't quite connect or click, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and in the article it talked about over I don't remember the word they used, but like a very energetic personality can attract to someone versus someone else being like, okay, he's way too eager about all of this. So, yeah. Okay. So what are some better ways that they could do instead of doing like actual interviews, like different ways of doing an interview process?
I suppose they could do it over Skype if they don't want to travel, but
Yeah. What's a good
Yeah.
way to like get to, oh, sorry, go on.
that's not as good as in person though. So
Yeah.
They could submit a portfolio, like just, you know, put their best work together and everything they've accomplished.
Good idea. Then they could decide before and narrow it down, and then
Yeah.
only interview maybe half the people, or
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think
Yeah.
too, just like the scheduling of things, like if it's really bad weather like that, and if you're swamped at work, reschedule it or just make it so when the time does come to interview, you're able to focus and it's something that you're able to put like your best effort into.
Yeah.
Just don't overcrowd your schedule or anything.
Yeah. Get to know them better. One thing that I like that it suggests is have them spend a day on the job, and then you can they get an idea of the job better, and you get an idea of how they react in those situations. Like it's more hands-on kind of experience.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just reading these questions. So what are the criteria that SG Cohen has for choosing an employee? Can we look over those? I think it was on page 8 I read.
I think it's on 7.
Oh yeah, 7. Hiring criteria.
They want the self-starter, so to speak, somebody that gets the job done without having to be asked.
Yeah. I like at the end where it says we are not the volume leader but a service leader. So it's not about quality. It's not about quantity, but more
about quality.
quality.
Yeah.
And it also says it makes a big difference if they've been an entrepreneur. That shows right there that they're looking for somebody that is a go-getter. Entrepreneurs usually, they work for themselves, and so it's up to them how big their paycheck is. So
Yeah.
that's the type of personality they're looking for.
And that's what Andy was, so I think he's a very good candidate for the job. Okay. So how do you think that they, the supervisors, know what they're looking for? Or the senior bankers, how do they know what they're supposed to be looking for in a candidate? And how can this be improved?
Are they the same ones that recruit and mentor?
I
was a little confused on that.
think that's what I got, because they send people out to recruit these guys, and then they bring them back for interviews. So, oh, my thing froze. So I guess we can just move on to the recruiting. So how do they decide what schools to go recruit at? Remember reading that in the beginning?
They first were going to the top 10 schools, but then they realized they weren't getting the cream of the crop, so they went to, I think, the 25 schools below the top 10, and then they were getting the cream of the crop, which turned out to be really great candidates.
Yeah. I also remember reading that they need to be fast learners, like just because you've got to be able to learn this stuff fast versus someone who is slower in the process. They need it going.
Hmm. I really liked when it said, sorry, I liked when it said that they want somebody who, or like those who get hired on do best when they're told not what to do. So like in essence, like if they are self-motivated and like, you know, they look for work to be done, they don't wait until they're asked to do something.
So is Ray's core school strategy a good one or not?
I think yes and no.
No.
Well, I think it is, but it isn't. It's like I think it gets a lot of people, which could probably be a little overwhelming, but at the same time it gets some of the best people so that they can just integrate them into their company pretty well.
Yeah. So, anyone else have anything to say? So what about the pros and cons of S.G. Cohen's approach? So he's the one that goes in, wait, right? What was his approach?
Was he the one that was super tough on the candidates, like on interviews? Like, they're
I think so. He was super tough because when later on they would interview, he didn't want to look bad.
Yeah.
That the same that guy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the one on page 2. That's where it's at.
Yeah. It's almost as if he was watching out for his own ego while hiring.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, because if they can handle like the interviewing process and all that under pressure, they can handle a lot. And you don't want the weak ones, you know, for you if you are generous with all of them, like they said.
Okay, so the next question is about Super Saturday. So what were the objectives of Super Saturday? Like why, what was the point of it?
Where was that at again?
It's on page 6.
Yep.
It actually starts on Friday, and they go for dinner and cocktails, which I think there's good and bad. Like, you're getting them into a friendlier situation, like more casual, getting to know the candidates one-on-one. So I kind of like that idea.
I think it's great because they can see the people in a social situation. I mean, they're going to be working with people all the time in the bank, and it's important that you hire somebody that has good social skills. If they don't have good social skills, they will fail.
Well, I like that too. And also, you know, when they provide alcohol, because we're Mormons, we don't drink when we go to these things, but majority of the world, they drink and they get wasted. So you get to see what kind of a person they are. If they're alcoholic, if they're responsible, they can control themselves. And also, Natalia, you know, that's how they found out, like, she's not socially very, well, she's not very social, I guess, because of the Friday event.
Yeah, and that Friday event affected her in the actual interview because that's something they brought up. They were like, she was stiff, she didn't really socialize much. So, I mean, that's something that they're also looking for is to socialize how they react.
I like the aspect, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I like the aspect too, just how like they're able to interact and then just kind of like potentially if they do get hired on, they're able to, be implemented more with the company, and just creates like a, healthy atmosphere, I guess.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you think there's a better way to structure the on-campus interviewing and recruiting?
I'm sure there is, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah. This is kind of a tougher case to like analyze.
We really
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I'm not doing the greatest. These are hard questions.
I know you're doing
Yeah.
great.
No worries.
Thanks.
It's hard being in your shoes too, having to ask the questions and like think of answers
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how hard this is. I'm just like, I'm like reading the questions and being like, I don't even know how to answer this.
Yeah.
Like teaching Sunday school.
That's how I
Yeah.
felt last week, and I didn't want to be reading the whole time straight from the paper.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I just asked that question. So we'll go on to the final part. What's the difference between recruiting and hiring? Does anyone know?
recruiting is trying to find good people who could apply and maybe fit. And then when you hire people, I mean, it's like they have to do a lot of the work if they want to get a job. So it's more, I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, that makes sense.
That's a good definition.
Recruiting is being recruited and hiring is searching for it yourself. You're being your own recruiter.
I think if you're recruited, you could have possible better returns than if you're hired. If you're hired, you're typically working an hourly job, and it may not start really too high. But if they recruit you, then they want you, and they're gonna pay you for it.
Yeah.
Yep. There could be competition with another company or business, and they'll outpay the other company to have you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that. So what did you guys learn from this case about recruiting?
There's a skill to it. You can't just decide I'm gonna go recruit. You gotta be social. You gotta get yourself out there basically, and talk to a lot of people. You basically have to be that annoying person that talks to everyone.
Yeah.
Then you'll recruit the people that you want.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's a system, that they have to follow to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I think
It's
go ahead.
almost as if you're selling the product. You're selling somebody to come work for you and work your butt off for them. And once you sign on, then they essentially get that sale. So
Yeah, it's like those guys that go out and they recruit other people to sell, and
it's like
They
a
have-
market.
yeah.
It reminds me of that football movie with Big Mike. What's that show called?
The Blind Side?
Yeah, The Blind Side, and all the coaches are like, come to my school, we have, or come to my company. It's just like that. We have this.
Yeah.
We offer these benefits, and it's.
Did you guys
So-
watch that video that was on her reading board? On the
No.
teacher's reading board?
The European, the English movie?
Yeah, it was like 4 minutes long.
Yeah. It was like the
Oh.
Monty Python or.
Yeah. The interview.
Yeah.
I did not get that.
That was so weird.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Was I supposed to get it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
glad I'm not the only one.
I
Yeah.
was like, this is random.
It was really random.
I thought it was pretty funny though at the end how they already filled the position. It was just
I know.
their sort of entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun to do. Oh, so the last question is, what did we learn about hiring? So I'll start because I just think we've already kind of talked about this, but I would rather be recruited than hired, just because, like what we said, like if you're recruited, then that means they want you versus you wanting them. It's just got a better turnaround of being wanted.
Hmm.
Definitely.
So.
I liked the strategy from the inside for hiring, how it said like smart companies, and I don't think it was in this reading, it was earlier this week, but it said companies that have it together will look to build, and like they look into the future and see like the need to hire, and they don't just hire like when there's an open position.
Yeah.
Just like
You plan ahead.
yeah, yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that was all of the questions. I kind of sped through them. So, but yep,
That's
there we
good.
go.
That's the way to do it.
Great.
Yeah, we took